How to start adding a retinoid into your skincare routine. Retinol is an amazing ingredient, but with great power comes great responsibility. One of the biggest problems people have when starting some of these products is the drying that can come along with it. Most people who don't know better ditch the product because of this, and then they're also ditching the results. Today we're going to break down what you should know before starting a retinol, what to expect, and how to start. I also know that the skin science in this video might seem slightly overwhelming, so please go grab your skincare notebook. Let's jot down some notes and learn together, and I'm also going to give you references in this video of where you can go if you still need help. For instance, Dermalogica has a free skin scanner and a help center that you can ask questions about your retinols or other products in your routine. They're partnering with us to share skin education in this video, but remember, we all have to start somewhere. So turn and learn, take those notes, and let's get started. The first step is to choose your retinol. We have to address that retinol is actually part of a much larger family. It's called the vitamin A family, and there are different types that have different potencies. This includes retinoic acid, which is prescribed by a doctor, and it's actually made naturally by our skin. This is the most bioavailable form of retinol. Bio meaning life, and available meaning available to the cells. So it's something that your skin can take in immediately and use. But unfortunately, pure retinol and the retinoic acid from your doctor can cause a lot of dryness, and there are more negative side effects because it is a stronger product. There are over-the-counter options such as retinaldehyde, retinol, retinol propionate, HPR, and these retinol esters. Essentially, these get applied to the skin. The skin then has to convert them into this stronger retinoic acid. Again, retinoic acid is something created naturally by our skin, but sometimes our skin needs a helping hand. Retinol is specifically used for acne and acne scars. That's what it was developed for. And as people with adult acne were using it, they and doctors who eventually did medical studies found that it can also be used for fine lines, for wrinkles, for pigmentation, and overall unevenness of the skin. Step number 2 is recognizing that the percentage of retinol is not as important as the formula and the other ingredients in the product are. For example, if you get pure retinoic acid from your dermatologist, this could be a lot for the skin, especially if you use it all at once. With advice from your healthcare provider, you may want to start this as only a spot treatment. If you use an over-the-counter retinol or a retinol derivative, you can generally apply this all over the skin, meaning targeting all over those areas. There's a slower absorption into the skin, but it also gives your skin a little bit more time to acclimate or to get used to it, and therefore you don't have this drying and this peeling or this purging the way you would with a prescription product. They can still be drying and they still have to be approached with care, but the other ingredients in there, such as moisturizers or oils, could help to kind of seal the skin in a little bit and give it an extra boost. That's also why prescription products are prescription, because these are intense medications that you need to speak to a doctor in order to get approved for and in order to know how to use. Whereas some of these over-the-counter derivatives aren't as strong, aren't as powerful, but they are a little bit easier to start. If you're using this product, which is the retinol clearing oil from Dermalogica, this actually has jojoba oil in it. Jojoba oil is one of my favorites for acne-prone skin because it naturally mimics the sebum that our skin produces naturally. Now, when our skin produces oil, it's made of a bunch of different things. We have cholesterols, fatty acids, triglycerides, whereas jojoba kind of acts as a waxy ester, and it goes onto our skin doing many of the same functions that sebum does, but without the cholesterol or other ingredients that could cause breakouts in some people. This also has 2% salicylic acid. Salicylic acid is that BHA acid, beta-hydroxy acid, and it's actually a huge molecule, but it penetrates really deeply into the skin because it is oil soluble, meaning it takes the oil that's in your face and uses it kind of like a road to get down into the pore where it needs to be. Once it's there, it can be slightly anti-inflammatory and it can help with a light amount of exfoliation. So if your skin is really clogged up or if you have acne or bumps underneath the skin, this, along with the retinol derivative, can help to promote glowing, healthy skin from underneath. The third step is to titrate. Titrating is a medical term, kind of meaning to build up. So instead of going full force and applying this stuff to your entire face twice a day, start with a little bit. You can start by spot treating, you can start by just patch testing, or you can even mix this in with a moisturizer to help dilute it a little bit. You also might want to start by using this every other day or every other night. So again, once a day instead of twice a day, and depending on what your healthcare provider or skin advisor says, slowly working up to that everyday use. Step 4, which is after a week or two, is when you can graduate to using once a day. Again, if a physician or expert recommends it, you could even build up to twice a day. And one of the great things about retinols or things in this retinoic acid family is that they can be used both morning and evening. There's a misconception mention that retinol makes you photosensitive, it does not, so it's safe to use in sunlight. However, because of the way it works in skin and because it literally promotes your skin to grow faster, you should be using a sunscreen. And you also do have to just check what other ingredients are in your routine overall. For example, if you're using a retinoid to try to fight acne, you could use something like this that also has salicylic acid in it. Or at night, you could use a benzoyl peroxide wash. If your goal is to get rid of wrinkles or promote more graceful aging, you could also look for products or moisturizers in your routine that have things like peptides in them or growth factors. Using a moisturizer over top of the retinol that you apply is a great way to help out with some of that dryness that can happen as well. And this is personally one of my favorite tricks. I like to apply a retinol before bed and then seal that in with a really occlusive moisturizer. And it's kind of like giving myself a retinol sleeping mask that my skin can use the entire night. If you do need help understanding what other products are in your routine, please speak to a dermatologist or your skincare provider and ask them. They can go through with you and talk to you about all the products that you're using and how they work together on your skin. If you don't have access to a dermatologist or can't afford a medical esthetician, Dermalogica does have a free Facebook group with advisors as well as an artificial intelligence system that actually tracks your breakouts, tracks the health of your skin, and can help you measure and pinpoint what you need. Any professional will also remind you to use sunscreen whenever you are using a retinoid. Again, retinol itself does not make you sun sensitive, but because of the cascade of events that's happening inside of your skin when you start to use this, it does cause the skin to speed up more, and this could cause a temporary thinning. All of that does make you a little bit more susceptible to the sun, and making sure that you prevent sun damage or skin cancer that can come from it is better to prevent than to treat anyways, so sunscreen should always be a healthy part of your morning routine. The sixth step is probably the most important one, and it's to remember not to give up. If you don't use a product, it's not gonna work. You know that our skin renews, creating new skin cells at the bottom and pushing them up through those layers. It goes through a process called desquamation and basically sloughs off your face. But this process takes time. A lot of patients don't have good patient adherence, meaning they don't stick to what they're told. They start using a product for a day or 3, they see a little bit of dryness, they think the product isn't right for them, and they ditch it. But if your skin renews on an average 28-day cycle, you really need to make sure that you're using it for 3 weeks to an entire month to see the results that are actually going to happen to your skin. Again, one of the key things that retinol does is actually bind to the RXR or RAR receptors in the cells of your skin. This causes the entire skincare process to speed up, so that 28-day cycle could maybe even go down to 21 or to 18. But because of that, all the skin is coming off, and it's gonna be flaky for a hot minute, which is why titrating is important, sunscreen is important, and remembering not to give up is important. Eventually, retinoids can lead to a decrease in acne or acne scars. They can create glowing, collagen-rich skin, but most people who give up because of the dryness and flaking will never experience that. But you are skin intelligent, and you know that good things take time. Taking before and after pictures that you can compare is one of the best ways to actually see a difference in your skin, because when we're looking in the mirror at our own faces every morning, it's hard to see if there's changes going on. Overall, this is the best way to start incorporating a retinol into your routine, and some of the top tips that I can recommend. A huge thanks to Dermalogica for helping spread skin education and partnering with us on this video. Again, all of the recommendations I make are based on ingredients, on formulations, and on honesty. Any products that I recommend have gone through rigorous testing, both personally and from looking at scientific data. It's a pleasure to have sponsors like these that allow us to create this scientifically backed skincare education for free, but I'm also very impressed that Dermalogica provides skin consultations and skincare education for free. Because as much as I wish it weren't the case, I totally understand that not everyone can afford to see a dermatologist or a medical esthetician or even a regular esthetician. And if you don't have that ability, it can feel overwhelming. But that's why we have this YouTube channel, to share this community, to share this knowledge, and to share this education. I truly believe that knowledge is power, and the fact that you're here to learn about your skin means that you do too. So here's to remembering that skincare is self-care, to not giving up when things get tough, to remembering to wear our sunscreen, and to exploring the biochemistry of our beauty and the cosmetic chemistry of our products. Be sure to turn that like button as blue as this bottle, and if that subscribe button is still red, go ahead and tickle it until it turns gray. Always remember to be beautiful both inside and out, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.